Um, I just want to start off by saying thank you, God, and I gotta start saying that and be appreciative of the small things I can be appreciative of. And one thing is, I'm just thankful that just Ning get involved in this disgusting program that is out here harming some of the most vulnerable you can imagine. And I say that all the time because I see who can participate. It seems like like everybody can participate. It's so disgusting how facilitated this evil is, and the stupidity sometimes that surrounds me as a target individual dealing with V2K and synthetic telepathy. I also deal with these clowns around me, this entitled retard trash that's supposed to like create a wall of stupidity around me to kind of disorient me from saying things for what they are. But it's such bad, it's so bad. It's so bad the way they try to still camouflage reality. Is almost distracting. Like they're so bad at still trying to maintain a face. It's so bad. Like, well, listen, they wanted me to just somehow not see what this program is in regard of the horrible things it does to some of the most vulnerable. There's images of burned women, of burned backs and faces, and all testimonials that are so disgusting. But they were supposed to like mesmerize me into some like retarded state of mind. And then you are some of the clown, some the most insignificant, entitled, childlike, tantrum-like trash, who you know there truly are nothings in these things, nothings. So the trash that needs to learn in the reality, they need to learn that in life you don't go things like that comes at a price. And for me, I vouch that the second one of these clowns behave this way, thinking that I'm gonna be acceptive of things the way they're presenting, I'm gonna be subscribing to it, and I'm not gonna see how stupid they want me to be, and think that their tantrum is gonna cover reality. I promise you, things will go so bad. It will go so left. I cannot even. I know I have to do it. I know. Now, I think at this point, these perps have understood how easy of a decision would it be, and maybe they will not behave this way. But if they do, it's up to them. I will take the action that needs to be taken. People like that need to learn a reality really quickly. You chose this thing, in these horrible things that you know you're part of, the obvious of how bad it is and who is torturers. You think you're low. The way you act, the way you behave, your gender, your race, or your whatever it is, your age, it's gonna cover that up. I'm willing to go down doing whatever needs to be done. You're gonna be accountable for what you're part of. You're gonna understand the consequences of the horrible things you're part of. If you want to do this thing in front of somebody and expect nothing, it's not gonna be me. You're gonna be accountable for wanting to negate this evilness. All the children and women who've suffered in this program will not be negated by some retard loser and nothing. There's too much suffering into this program to allow this clown. Some of these perps are just some teenage entitled low life who thinks that they can cover up sufferings of this nature with tantrum. Oh, I'll show you, fanatic. It will be bad. They don't even expect that. They've turned me into a fanatic. These losers have turned me in the goal to cover up. They've turned me to somebody who can turn into a monster if I see them doing this thing. There's so much suffering in this thing. To hear these losers, this nobody, this insignificant trash, think they can cover that up. It's not gonna happen. A tantrum is not gonna cover that up. They might risk their life easily. It will be easy decision, by the way. They're not gonna fantasize this thing when they know the level of abuse that we're talking about, and to who putting effort negating. They need their life will be in jeopardy if they did that in my face. There's too much suffering. They need to understand these kind of things come at a consequence that can even be your own life. I vouch for all the testimonials of the women and children who suffer in this program that will not allow this clown to do these things without understanding that there's a risk that they'll take by doing that. For all who've suffered, who've died, who've killed themselves, I'm not going to allow some retard contracted to gaslight me to forgetting the reality of how bad this thing is and to who it is bad to. I vouch, Target Vigil, I promise. Thank you for all the testimonials that have clarified what this thing is. To the little retard that have contracted to disorient Target Vigil to forget what this is about, or to make you think that this is anything but a massive government that can burn genitals of women and children. You do that in front of me. On me. It is all the testimonials I've heard. And if you're willing to put yourself at risk, thinking that I'm not going to react accordingly, I promise. It will be a very easy decision. You chose to be involved in something that does this evilness. You loved it, like you said. Now you're going to love what I have to come to with it. This is not what you fantasize. People who negate sufferings of 3-year-old toddlers. 2 seconds ago, before I made this video, I was pulling up page 116, the petition for Target Justice versus Garland, where they call out a 3-year-old toddler slamming her head to the floor and being tortured on a daily basis, and them having to cover that up. It's like, yeah, it's not real, it's not real, it's not real, and then coming up, no, it's just not justice. Trash. That's your justice. Your justice is torturing children. And then like, no, it's a channel, and you're gonna see some little awkward, fucking disgusting, this trash, entitled wife, whatever race this trash is, thinking that they can come up and paint this like Me Too-ish facade in this program that tortures so many women and children. Who you see faces of, you're gonna see of this woman burnt. I will easily do whatever needs to be done. I promise you. It will be so easy. I think with me, they had this entitlement that, listen, in Ohio, Steve Marlowe murdered 4 people. I don't know if it's a race thing where they think that, as a black person, I'm going to be more submissive to this fantasized reality. As a black person, I'm not going to be like reacting. I don't know if it's that's what's happening. I don't know if maybe my race or my culture has made them believe that he is just not going to react. He's going to see us as just a portal of this retard trash you're going to see. Awkward as it gets, stupid as it gets, and think he's not going to react. But somebody in Ohio would go and do this, pre-recording video, then going and finishing up 4 people. But I'm gonna allow this little disgusting retard try to create this stupidity that's as obvious as it gets. Listen, for me, sometimes I think, like, do you think people are gonna retarded? Do you even see what you look like? You have a tantrum of a child try to gaslight me to forget how you torture 3-year-old toddlers. Do you understand how much hate I have? I can't wait for you to present yourself like that. It's okay. This is my purpose to this low life. I promise you, I will act accordingly. I know these losers that you're going to see are the nothings. They're truly the bottom feeders. This disgusting shit that I try to cover up the reality what they're part of. And they're just the losers. Talking video, they employ and they utilize these people to participate in this. Everyday citizen, even children partake in this. Where children are tortured in horrible ways. And they try to normalize these things. It's on me. I don't have much left. But I promise you, what you're going to see here, if this trash in front of me was acting this way, or sending some of this retard here. This HF toddler on page 160 in this petition, Target Justice versus Garland, will not be forgotten. The second I see this trash, the pictures of this woman's face that's burned will not be forgotten when I see these losers standing awkwardly, thinking they're going to recreate reality. The clown that slammed the door twice like a retard, thinking that's going to make me subscribe to you, the stupidity. Send this little retard. Talking about reality. Okay. For me, what they say, sorry for the animated of what how I speak right now. I'm animated. They use this trash that you can see. That even have the audacity. It's like, yes, I have reality. Yes, your reality trash. You think I'm gonna let you live your reality when you are here killing children and women? Do you think that's how it works? How? Oh no. That's not how it goes. You're not going to involve in a program where they abuse, torture, kill, push women to kill themselves, and be like, it's a reality, I'm just going to block it out. No. The suffering is out there. It's heard. You're not going to silence it with your reality. Trash us. We talk about tortures and abuses of babies as young as 3 years old. You think you're going to recreate reality because you said something like that? You disgusting trash. You sold your soul to a governmental program that tortured the most vulnerable people. And you think I'm going to let you live your fantasy? You're going to face reality if you do this thing in front of me. To this purpose. I promise you. I understand your job. Day in and day out, you're supposed to just kind of erase the reality of what you're part of and what you do. And you think this is your stupidity is going to be internalized. Let me show you what this trash looks like. Look at these clowns here, standing awkwardly. You know, this is pathetic trash. And with me, they try to make her look... they try to make this clown look feminine. Try to create something that accentuates this trash chest. Listen, the level of stupidity I deal with, first of all, this trash is supposed to be seductive. This awkward, poking her chest up, standing awkwardly. Apparently this is most likely some teenage trash. Weird. Doesn't even know how to stand like a woman. Poking her chest up to try to create... Listen, apparently this is the bait. This is how disconnected they are. Even the way this trash stands is disgusting. She is poking her chest out to try to show whatever chest she has. And she's wearing a full-on hoodie, a gray hoodie. Listen, my brain, they can play with me. They will try to create her little cheeks. But to be disconnected to the point of who you think can seduce like that, first of all? Like, it would be one thing if this teenage trash would try to dress in certain... She got a full-on hoodie and think that naturally this trash can be looked at in ways that's... But the entitlement of this trash is what's dangerous. Not only, she's so entitled to think that dressing like that, looking like that, she can seduce anybody. 2, she's so entitled to think that just because my brain can be manipulated in whatever ways, that I should be subscribed to this. 3, that I forget that this weird standing piece of shit looking teen shit, awkward as it ever gets, can look like she's part of, like, this is like their channels. This is not a program that's touching infants. This bizarre looking shit. You know the level of disconnection, the lack of self-awareness you must have. To be like, I'm going to stand up, poke my chest up, look weird as hell, wearing a gray hoodie, And whatever way we play with him, he'll be like, oh, he'll accept this as if he's not being manipulated. Do you know the lack of self-awareness to think that this guy, he's into teenagers with gray hoodies, stand there looking awkward, and expect me to be subscribing to this? In my brain, they try to create mental battles with the TikTok things. They try to create stuff. It's like, look at you. How stupid do you look like? On top of that, you're in a program that tortures babies and women. You are so disconnected. I remember when she standing, I was about to, I was coming out the elevator. As I walk out, she says something and she's standing awkwardly like that. It's so disconnected with reality. She says something. She's like, yeah, we're gonna pay, now we got you. And I was like, I dropped my stuff. I was like, I'm coming, I circled back. I was like, if this trash is out there, we're gonna have a problem. It would have been a fucking problem. At least then, maybe I would have been more tolerable. But today, this shit standing like that, this weird shit, first of all, I welcome this little life to come back so they can see themselves. You know the amount of just like disconnection, disassociation you have to have. To not think that I look weird in this picture. I look weird. I'm out here standing awkwardly, poking my chest up, looking weird. Like, you know how when you look at your own picture, when you check your pictures, and you're like, oh, this is a bad picture, this is a good picture, and you see a picture of you looking bizarre. This clown's around, like, oh, we got you, look at her. It's like, look how weird that she is. In my brain, they were trying to create her. Just watch my videos. They're like, no, we got you, look. It's like, this person, this trash here, once you see this picture, what does she see? What does she look like? Does she not see an awkward, weird person standing in her gray hoodie? Is it one of her best looking pictures? Is that what she looked like? She looked like a weird person. But these clowns, not only they have to disassociate themselves with how weird they look, then try to gaslight me to be like, oh, we're just protected. Look at your weirdness. And you think this is going to cover up reality of what you guys do to women and children. You know how disconnected these people are? Every day, there's even pictures I'm supposed to show where this woman's face burns. Then you see this retard there standing there awkwardly that I'm supposed to be seduced by. Who's supposed to cover that up? And be like, oh, you're happy to look at how seductive. You look weird. You're poking your chest, you're looking weird. Awkward. But in my brain, of course, you can play with my brain. But you as a person, when you see yourself, look standing there, looking bizarre as hell. Do you expect me to think that I can see you in the way you play my brain? And on top of that, you can cover up these horrible things? You disgusting. You look like a loser, nothing. A little bottom feeder the government contract to make you to stand there and recreate reality. As bizarre as it gets. Talking just sorry for me being animated. But they surround me with clowns like that. And expect me to let them live the fantasy. They're so disconnected. That's why I have a body cam. Let them be so retarded that they can't, but they're gonna see themselves. Standing, just trying to poke out their chest to try to create. Oh, knowing the thing, the way they stand, they know it's like, okay, they're gonna play with his brain. They let him give them something to kind of work on so they can standing weird. And then be like, wait, baited, is this just bizarre shit there? Weird. Let me show you again. Look at this bizarreness. And I could hear her say, my baddie. Look at this weird thing. And they're trying to play with me because, you see, what they're trying to do in my brain is like they have this ability to recreate the perceptions. So they try to make her look woman. Ugh. Very awkward looking person. And they try to like focus on her chest and try to make it disgusting trash. This. And you see the gray, the dark area here. What they're trying to do is they try to like, in my mind, use that to create like a more figure like physique. She's super awkward looking, super bizarre looking. They try to cut that part off, in my mind, to make her look like more like our. And you hear the shots like my body, speaking to me via V2K. This retard's body, this weird looking person. I'm able to see that what you're doing is you just, in my mind, morphing away the dark area that was showing to create like a physique. And then it's like she's an awkward looking person that in my mind they try to change into something else. And this is the bait, standing weirdly. Everybody else can see, it's just my mind is just being played with to the point where that's how they can make me perceive her. And I have the real pictures, by the way, if she wants to see how she really looked like. If she wants to see the real, when they don't remove it, when they try to kind of create my perception this way. Awkward. Minus the blur. Awkward looking trash. If she wants to see a real version of what she looks like. I'm never gonna let these people live their fantasy. In my mind, they're playing with my brain, but I don't know how they're able to do this to themselves. Do they not see what they look like? For me, my brain has to be really played with to create what I'm trying to describe. I don't even know if you see that, but I'm gonna try to describe it a little bit better. They're using the dark shadow around her like armpit area to create her physique be more figurine like, to minimize how wide it is. You see that dark area? They're removing that in my mind they create. You get it? That dark area is being used in my mind to like create a shape. So this random weird person here, I guess, look more feminine. Clown. And be like, oh, my body. Nobody wants your nastiness. You look weird. And I'm going to put that in your face. If you want to show up to these clowns, I have a body cam for a reason. These clowns, like, they hate this body cam. They've been trying to find ways to make it look like I don't have a camera, a body cam, for the purpose of when this trash will show themselves looking weird as ever, try to cover up the obviousness of what they're part of, are not filmed and posted on my videos, on my YouTube videos. That's why I have this body cam, and I'm gonna continue to do this. You know what they try to say? It's like, no, you're just a voyeur. I say, yeah, okay. You see how retarded you look like here? That this is what's supposed to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so baited. Who is that over there with the gray hoodie? Retards. I'm never gonna let this life is this fantasy. These trash are cowards, delusional, disconnected, and expect people to just be submissive to their retards, to this retardation. I promise you, I vouch on all these women and children who suffer in this program. These clowns do these things. They're gonna deal with the consequences of what they're part of. This clown looking like that with their freaking weird look. In my brain, they try to create mental bars. Look at you. I promise that your dumbness, your gray hoodies or whatever, you think that you could paint this fantasize that you baited me. You look weird. Technology is at a highest level to perceive you in ways that's, I guess, more womanly. And I don't expect trash that target Joe. For me, what they do is like they expect me to have sympathy for this trash because they're not adults. Trash, low life. They're entitled low life. Who so entitled they think that looking like that they can bait anybody. That's how entitled they are. That's how delusional they are. That's how disconnected they are. So you can only imagine how foul they can be to women and children. They don't even have the conscious, I look weird here. They didn't even, listen, at least if you dress up in ways that can try to make yourself move, a gray hoodie. And stand there like that poking. You understand the level, the entitlement and disconnection that you think I'm going to allow these clowns? These are the people who are supposed to gaslight you. You should see the picture that I have next to her. You go into my videos of women face burnt. And this retard with a gray hoodie is supposed to make me think it's her portal. I'm hearing this concept, Snapchat, is stupidity. It makes sense now. You're researching. This is the researchers with that gray hoodie supposed to do in the world in all the world. If you ever heard somebody say, "Oh my gosh, I love when you look so seductive when you're wearing your gray hoodie." These teenage retards are delusional. In a program where they're killing and touching children, you think I'm going to allow these little losers like that to live their fantasy? And say, I Snapchat, try to go into the way they've been piecing things together, bringing up who I follow in 2014, to be like, look at you, dumbass. You're in a program that is suffocating children, torturing them, and you don't even put effort to try to cover up what you're part of. That in your gray hoodie, standing awkwardly, you try to make somebody believe that this is something else but this massive government torturing babies and women. That's the level of entitlement this low life deserves to get they need to be dealing with reality. They don't even put the efforts to make it look like this is anything but a massive government at this point. That in her just regular gray hoodie should be like, oh, I baited you, standing there weirdly. Then talk about my baddie. Dude, nobody wants your nastiness. And then go like Snapchat, it's trash. For me, I was tolerant there. It will never happen again like that. I can just stay strong. And I am strong the way I am today because I've continuously been hearing the horrible, horrible thing this program is doing to us. We all know this participant can come in all shape or form, even in the shape of these retards. The stupidity that you're saying here. And delusional trash who think they could cover up the reality. Standing there looking weird as ever. And think they're going to be like, oh, reality, okay. For your reality thing, I won't let you live your fantasy. Stand there with your reality, watch what happens. Thank you, just stay strong.